Good morning, everyone. Thank you to this meeting of League City Toastmasters. I'm glad that each of you are here today. My name is Scott Livingston. I'm the president of League City Toastmasters. Let's go around. We'll start with the officers. Please introduce yourself and your title. And if you're a guest, introduce yourself as a guest. And with that, let's go to Alicia. Good morning, Alicia. You're on mute.
I am Alicia Lamborghini West. I am the Vice President of Education, and I was in this club for 1 year and a half.
Thank you, Alicia. And let's go to Kelly. Please introduce your name and title, Kelly. Welcome. Okay, Kelly must have stepped away. Let's go to Renee.
Good morning.
Good morning, Renee. Name and title. Welcome.
Good morning. I'm Renee Griffin. I am recording secretary for League City Toastmasters. I've been a member for approximately 6 months.
Good morning. Glad you're here, Renee. And Elizabeth, good morning. Name and title, please.
Morning, everyone. Elizabeth Ruiz, Sergeant at Arms and Club Coach. Thank you.
Okay, great. Good morning, Elizabeth. And then let's go to our members. This may not be in particular order. I'm going to try here. Spencer, I think you're one of our members newest members that's been here the longest. Please, your name and how long you've been in Toastmasters.
I'm Spencer Hiley. I've been in Toastmasters for about 2 or 3 months now.
Great. Thank you, Spencer. Okay, Alex, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Alex Noel. I've been in Toastmasters almost 2 months.
Thank you, Alex. Glad you're here. Okay, and Sonia, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Sonia. I am in Toastmasters almost 2 months too.
Thank you, Sonia. Wonderful. Okay, we've got at least one guest, and we've got a second one coming in. Let's see, Jason, there you are. Good morning.
Hi there, I'm Jason Dick.
Yes.
Yes, hi, I'm Jason Dick. I'm a member of the Clear Lake Communicators, and I really enjoy Toastmasters. And I try to hit as many other meetings and other clubs as a guest as often as possible. I've been in the League City area about 8 months now, and we're really enjoying living in this area of town.
Wonderful. Well, we're glad you're here this morning, Jason. And I see a couple of other guests that have come in and joined us recently. Jason, if you would please give us your first and last name. Oh, okay, you're on mute. And while you're taking yourself off mute, first and last name, and anything quick you want to tell us about yourself, maybe like how you found out about us or something. Go ahead, Jason.
Hi, my name is Jason. The last name is Suchecki. I'm local. I grew up here in League City, Friendswood area. I own a fitness center, Anytime Fitness. I'm also a commercial realty with the Bly team, also here locally, and just looking to help improve my public speaking.
Okay, great. Glad you're here. Welcome.
Thank you.
And then Robert, please, first and last name and just a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. My name is Robert Kushnick. I am from Bay Cliff, Texas, close to Kemah, and I work for HEB. And I am in this class because I want to improve on my public speaking skills so I can move up in my company and to succeed. Thank you.
Okay, well, great. Glad you're here and you're in the right place. So with that, I'd like to hand off the meeting to our Toastmaster of the day, who is Elizabeth Ruiz.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I apologize. My left eye is swollen and infected, and I am not turning on my camera right now.
Okay.
I woke up that way, and I have to get to the doctor as soon as this is over. But I'm here, and I want to participate in this meeting. And I'm so excited to see so many guests and returning members. This is going to be a fun and an entertaining as well as enlightening club meeting. I would like to take this time to introduce the theme of the day, which is new beginnings. Why new beginnings? New beginnings is because we have passed 2020. Thank goodness. It is now 2021 and we have new beginnings, and there's lots of excitement going on. We're about to hit President Distinguished and reach some more members and really grow this club. This is very exciting time and new beginnings for League City. I would like to introduce the timer of the day. It is Toastmaster Sonia Phillips. Sonia, will you please let us know what your role is?
Hi, thank you, Toastmaster. My role is just timer, so I need to check all this time for each individual that will speak. For basic speech will be, for basic speech will be for 30 minutes, 4 minutes 30, and I will place like a green light for 5, and yellow for 6, and red for 7. Maximum will be 7 minutes for qualify. The same will be for table topics. For table topic will be 1 minute. I put the green light, 1.5 minutes for yellow, and 2 minutes for red. For evaluator will be 2 minutes for green light, 2.5 minutes for yellow, and 3 minutes for red light.
Excellent. Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Madam Timer. Our grammarian is Toastmaster Alicia Lamborghini West. Alicia, may we have the roles for grammarian, please, and the word of the day?
Yes. The role of the grammarian is to point out any problem with grammatics, and the word of the day is rousing. That is an adjective. The spelling is R-O-U-S-I-N-G and means inciting emotion. A phrase, an example is new beginnings could be rousing experiences. Thank you.
Excellent. And can you let us know what your role as grammarian will be?
The role of grammarian is to point out any problem with grammatics. And something else, Elizabeth?
That's it. You're doing great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Grammarian. Our odd counter of the day is Renee Griffin. Toastmaster Renee, may we have the rules for odd counter?
Good morning. I'm here to help Toastmasters tighten the way we talk. The purpose of the counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, but, so, you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Excellent. Thank you, Madam Odd Counter. Our ballot counter is Scott Livingston, President of League City Toastmasters. Scott, please explain the ballot counter role. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. The role of the ballot counter is to take ballots and count ballots. And one of the things I did before the meeting is created 3 polls, one for best evaluator, best speaker, and best table topic speaker. And we will take those polls and take those votes later today, and I'll be the tiebreaker if there's a tie. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Ballot Counter. And our general evaluator of the day is Toastmaster Kelly King, who is our VP PR. Kelly, please share your role as general evaluator.
Hi, this is Kelly King, and greetings to Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The purpose of the general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. I will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. We're now going to go to the first of our 3 parts of the meeting, which is P for pie, means prepared speeches. I would like to introduce our one and only speaker of the day, and I would like to take a couple of seconds to thank this particular Toastmaster. She is our Vice President of Education, Alicia Lamborghini West. She chose to speak just a few hours ago, and I would like to thank her for that. Alicia is in dynamic leadership. She is on her 3rd level. It is an elective using descriptive language. Her title is Feminine Drinking Culture. She will describe what is a culture and specifically which are the characteristics of the FDC. And Alicia, oh, can we see you, Alicia? I see a green screen. Are you ready? There we go. Okay. I would like to now introduce Alicia Lamborghini West. And our 3rd, Alex Knoll, will be evaluating her. Alicia, it's all yours.
Good morning. Thank you, Elizabeth, for your introduction. Today, I am going to talk about the feminine drinking culture, starting with the definition of culture. What is a culture? Well, essentially are the values and beliefs regarding something. And then from these values and beliefs comes attitudes and drives. And then from these comes social practices and behaviors. So I am going to give an example of what is a culture, then refers to the feminine drinking culture, and then to point out what are the conditions, what are we conditioned to believe to belong to this feminine drinking culture. So starting with a culture, say for example, starting with the values and beliefs. What could be a value? A value for us could be the truth. And what are the beliefs that come from this value is that it is good to tell the truth. It is good to be authentic. Then what are the attitudes and drives? The attitudes could be, you know, we are we have a good attitude for somebody that tells the truth and a negative attitude to somebody that lies. And then come the drives, what I am going to do with that person or that person, or what I am going to do with my kids. I am going to tell the truth, not to lie. And from there, the social practices and behaviors, all the things that we do regarding that specific value. And this is what is a culture. Returning to the feminine drinking culture, at least in the United States, drinking among women became part of their culture. What are the characteristics when something belongs to a culture? That is required, anticipated, and expected. The social norm that followed this is that drinking became a requisite in all social activities that include women. Believing that alcohol and drinking is a positive element in women's life and in the interaction between women. Let's go by part. It is true that we drink alcohol to feel better, to feel good, and this is absolutely true. We have a drink with our partner or in a party or whatever. And of course, drinking alcohol improves a relationship between women. The feminine drinking culture helps dissipate the historical competition and envy between women and helped to develop a friendship, and a support system. The camaraderie that is typical among men is very rare, or was very rare among women. But then we have the other part, that alcohol is addictive. So we can start with the idea of feeling better, of feeling good and doing well. But then alcohol started to becoming a kind of a strong relationship, central relationship in our life, and a part of our daily routine. And now, as a conclusion of my presentation, I am going to talk about the 4 elements of the feminine drinking culture we are conditioned to believe. The first is that we shouldn't criticize drinking alcohol. This is okay, this is fine, no problem. That we shouldn't be concerned about drinking. This is to feel good, why we have to be concerned, etc. The third one is that we should justify drinking as an essential part of social activities, dates, or a factor that decompress us in personal life. And the fourth element is that there are only 2 kinds of drinkers. Those who can control their drink, that can control themselves, that is us, the social drinkers. And there are those who cannot control their drinking, that they are alcoholics. And the last question, in what groups, in what kind of women this feminine drinking culture is so strong, is stronger? Essentially in these groups, is prevalent among successful professional women as well as in stay-at-home moms and housewives. With that, I finish with this topic, and I am open if you have any questions.
Excellent. Thank you, Alicia.
Scott, 1 minute. Scott, could you just block me? So I think so. You still share my computer.
Yeah, multiple participants can share simultaneously, so it's operable.
Okay.
Okay.
Alicia, are you, is the speech complete?
Yes, I make a question if somebody have any questions. And if I have time, I can answer the questions.
Does anyone have questions for Alicia before we go to table topics?
I have a question more about the speech itself rather than the subject matter. What was the intention or the purpose of the speech? Was it like a informational style thing? What was like the goal you were trying to achieve with it?
It's informational. The feminine drinking culture is becoming a problem, and especially now with the pandemic, more women are involved in this feminine drinking culture and drinking more than ever. So I am writing a book and developing a program on this topic. So these are part of my program.
Alicia, this is Renee, and I just have a question about just the track And I'm wanting to confirm that you spoke on dynamic leadership and the title was Feminine Drinking Culture.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Thank you for the questions. We are going to ask Madam Timer for 1 minute time. Let us know when 1 minute has passed. Please go into your private chat and spend time giving Alicia feedback for her speech. And this also allows her evaluator, Alex Knoll, to finish his evaluation. The clock will start now for 1 minute.
Okay.
We'll be going into table topics next. The second part of our pie, the I, the impromptu speeches. Our table topics master is Spencer. And Spencer, you're lucky because we have 3 guests here today. Table topics is a great way to include our guests during our 1-hour club meeting. We ask if you can use the word of the day. If not, that is okay. And it's a 1 to 2 minute impromptu speech. The table topics master also calls on those who do not have roles.
It's done.
Thank you. I'd now like to turn the portion of the meeting to our table topics master, Spencer Heilig. Spencer, it's all yours.
All right, Elisa, I'm gonna finish up sending the comments to you once I'm done, once all the table topics are finished up. So I'll send it to you by the end of the presentation. Okay, 1 second here. All right. My role as table topics master is to challenge members to develop their impromptu communication skills by answering unrehearsed questions. Table topics are specifically designed to develop 4 essential communication skills: listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking. For now, let's have fun. As I conduct the table topics, I will ask a question first, and then we'll call on someone to respond. This way, everybody listens and starts to think of a response. The word of the day is going to be rousing, which means to excite emotion. And the first question is going to be, let me pull it up here. What do you think about when you lie awake in bed? And I'm just picking these from complete random. I have 365 options. And
What
let's
number
go
is that?
with,
What number is that?
that is number, where did it go? 242. Number 242. So why don't we have Mr. Jason Suchecki. And if someone could remind me, what is the time limit again for these table topic presentations?
It's maximum 2 minutes.
Hey, can I make a suggestion that we pick on one of our members, at least one, if not 2 of our members before we go to guests? I'm just not so sure if our guests understand what we're doing and how it works, and maybe they need to see an example.
Okay, yeah, sure thing, sure thing. Let me pick somebody else. How about Miss Kelly?
Hello, I am Kelly King, and I was posed the question. Let's pose the question once again. Can you repeat the question, Spencer?
Yeah,
what
of
do you
course.
think about when lying awake?
Exactly. Number 242, what do you think about when you lie awake in bed?
Okay, and the word of the day is rousing, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Kelly King, and I was posed the question, what do I think about when I lay awake in bed? I think my head is full of ideas and worries. There's some anxiety. but mostly it's a Trello board of to-do lists. I am constantly active. I have 3 jobs and I am a volunteer at a couple of different places. So my world is filled with to-dos. When I lie awake, I'm trying to solve most of the world's problems, and I get a little frustrated when I'm not the leader of the free world. So that can be rousing to me in many ways. But honestly, I try to rein those thoughts in and let them go, give them to God, and be present. And I do that by being grateful. So the to-do list, when it becomes overwhelming or challenging or causes anxiety or worry, then I start my gratitude list. And so while I'm lying awake, if I'm not solving the world's problems, I am trying my best to be grateful for what I can't control, those things that are for me and part of things that I can do something about. So that's what I do when I lie awake. That was hard. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a little bit more of an introspective question, not really a, what's your favorite part of the fall season or something. All right, Kelly, let me have you pick a number between 1 and 365 for me.
72.
72. All right, let's see. All right, next table topic question is going to be, is there such a thing as perfect? And we have a little bit of time here because we only had 1 speaker, so we should be able to get a good amount of participants for the table topics. My Zoom is a little messed up, so let me try to fix it here. All right. How about Mr. Alex? Are you there, sir?
Yes, I was just having to click on my video. Okay, what is my topic?
Is there such a thing as perfect? And the word of the day is rousing.
For perfect, I know God is perfect, and that's about all I got. You got me on this one. Yeah, that's all I have.
You think you could expand on that idea a little bit more, to sort of fill up the time? Why is it that, I guess God is perfect and everything else isn't?
Well, I know that God created the earth and what we have, and we are supposed to look up to Him for His guidance and so forth. And I mean, nobody can be more perfect than God. We can all try, but we can never achieve that because He is the only perfect one, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
All right. Thank you, sir. And let me have you pick a number 1 through 365.
364.
Okay. Let's see what that is. It's going to be, if you could do it all over again, would you change anything? And we will go back to Mr. Jason Suchecki. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did. So again, my name is Jason Suchecki, and the question is, if I could do it all over again, would I do it differently?
Yes, that's right.
Wow, that's a tough one. It's hard to look back and say you should do something differently. In life, would I have found a different wife? No. Would I have different kids? No. Would I have different businesses? No. I love everything that I have, and I'm grateful for that. So it's really hard for me to go back and say, would I do this differently? There might be a few little changes, but different, I would have to say no. I'd have to say I'm grateful for what I have as of right now. Who knows, in 10 years, I might say, should I have worked a little bit hard and maybe I could have done this and or done that? Yes. But going back, I would say, as of now, would I have done anything differently? The answer would be no.
Awesome. And let me have you pick a number between 1 and 365.
110.
110. When do you feel most like yourself? And for that, we will go to Miss Sonia.
Okay, so who take the time for me, please?
I'll do it.
Okay. Okay, repeat again. Question.
The question again is, when do you feel most like yourself? And the word of the day is rousing.
I feel most myself when I pray, when I stay alone, and just pray or make myself contact God. I try to find myself what I need to do in the next time, what I did wrong this day, why I didn't speak up. Back on myself is just try to feel myself. If I do well this day, if I don't do well this day, it's just some kind of meditation when you feel alone with your creator and you see, okay, I did something good. No, I didn't do. But I feel myself in that moment when I be alone, meditation or pray or whatever you want to see. It just is a moment, 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 1 minute, whatever. It's just in any time of the day. It's not exclusive at night. And I feel like myself in that moment when I make a background on myself during that day. Sometimes I just thinking more on the past and say, okay, this has happened because you didn't speak up 3 days ago. And I say myself, oh, I do good when I make that decision a month ago. Oh, that's great. We are okay, Jonah. Well, I call myself Jonah. So anyway, this is when I feel myself. Thank you.
Great job, Sonia. And then let me have you pick a number.
69.
69? Okay. Okay. Man, oof. What gives your life meaning? Deep stuff here. All right. Robert, would you like to go?
Sure, I'll go. What gives my life meaning is working hard every day, going to work, being productive, exercising, studying, going to school, practicing to do better, reading the Bible, going to church, interacting with people, and communicating with other people and getting to know new people every day.
Right. And Robert, let me have you pick a number as well.
11.
11? All right, number 11. Do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength? Let me go down the list here. All right, how about Jason Dick?
Thank you, Spencer. These are some really great table topics, very rousing. And that's what I enjoy about this League City Communicators is the opportunity that you give the guests to get to speak in table topics. This really helps me, myself, kind of break out of what I have is a very mild introverted personality. So this really gives me a chance to speak out on subjects that I'm not quite prepared for. So as far as crying, wow, that's really tough. I can remember as a child being very emotional and looking and being looking forward to the future and maturing, so that it didn't seem like I broke out into tears quite as often. And trying to stay focused on that, I feel like it has really helped. Now, there are some things that I do get emotional about. Of course, the death in the family and close friends, that's always really rough. I try to do that in private. Myself, I am a private person, so that's not easy to do in public. I'm also a business owner, so I do not show emotion very often. I feel like it can incite weakness in myself if that's conveyed very often. So I'm a compassionate person, but as far as crying, there's not very much that upsets me. I grew up really tough. My father was from the old school, and we worked 7 days a week in the family business. And there just was not a lot of time for emotional. And if I ever did shed some tears, I was always told that he could give me something to cry about. So that didn't happen very often. So that's what I have to say about crying.
Good stuff. And then let me have you pick a number as well. We have time for a few more speakers.
How about 333?
Okay. Number 333 is, what confuses you? And for that question, let's go to Mr. Scott.
You said Scott?
Yes, sir.
The things that confuse me are how people can be so selfish, so self-centered, and so short-term focused. And the reason I say that is in economic development, I always think about the long game. You just can't do a bunch of cheap stuff because eventually it's going to come back to bite you. You know, the Bible talks about you reap what you sow. The first will be last and the last will be first. And I just think it's somewhat funny. It'd be funny if it wasn't so sad that you see people crawling over one another, pushing one another down, trying to get to the head of the line. And I just don't understand. I'm confused by the fact that people can be so self-centered and so focused on themselves that they just want to push others out of the way. They obviously don't love God as much as they think they do, because the Bible says that if you don't love your brother who you do see, how can you love God who you don't see? And the other thing too is that I think a lot of people, I'm confused by the fact that they push people out of the way and they are racing toward a finish line. And I'm afraid that when they get to the end of the finish line, they're going to find out that they achieved a lot of the wrong things: money, status, wealth, things that are fleeting, that'll go away. And at the end of life, I'd rather have things that are much more important: friends, family, relationships, great memories. And I don't want to lie in a bed when I'm 80 something years old in a nursing home thinking about all the people I stepped on to get to my status. I'd rather think about all the people that I helped and that I blessed and that, you know, from whom I sacrificed and so forth. And it creates a rousing thought in me and emotion when I think about people, how they can be so short-term focused. So again, I find those things confusing. I find it sad. I think that God created us for much more than just selfishness. And he created it to have this rousing desire within us to share what we have and to bless others. Thank you very much.
Scott, and then let me have you pick a number as well.
How about 171?
Okay, let me finish writing something down. 171. Is the reward worth the risk? That's all it says. And then we'll go to Renee for this one. This will probably be our last one.
When I consider the question, is the reward worth the risk? I'm led to consider the world of finance, particularly personal finance and investing. It's often recommended that in our younger years, we should strive to invest in vehicles that have a little bit more risk and are more aggressive for performance, because at that stage in our lives, we're able to afford the risk if there are any losses. If that's done strategically and with a good plan, I would answer the question by saying, yes, the reward is worth the risk. Conversely, however, I think the question begs a different answer when considering this topic at a later stage of life. The reward may not be worth the risk later in life, because if there is a high level of risk that leads to a lot of loss, there might not be any reward at all to consider.
Oh, hello.
And there may not be a reward at all. Therefore, in conclusion, I would say the reward is worth the risk depending on your stage in life and your mindset approach to personal investing. Thank you.
Sweet. Thank you very much, Renee. And I think with that, I hand it back to Toastmaster Elizabeth. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. I'm going to try to turn on my camera. My left eye is like really weird, but thank you very much for the rousing questions and rousing answers. Those were excellent. Thank you, Spencer. I'm now going to call upon the E part of our meeting, the general evaluator. Before I do, I would like to call on our timer to see if all the table topics participants qualified.
Yes, all the
Yes.
table topics just qualify. Just one, maybe close to, but 1 minute, but everyone qualify, more than 1 minute.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Timer. I would now like to call on our ballot counter to put the poll up for our best table topic speaker.
Okay, I just launched it. Everybody should see it. Please choose your favorite table topics speaker. Okay, it's been completed.
Thank you, Mr. Ballot Counter. I'd now like to turn this portion over to our general evaluator, our VPPR general evaluator, Kelly King. Kelly, it's all yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I am working today from my phone, so if you will bear with me, I will get to the screen that has it's why I have my camera off. I've been writing notes on my screen. So today I was charged with evaluating how our meeting was ran, and the things that I looked at was before the meeting, if our Zoom meeting was set up and equipped correctly, and it was. Thank you so much for sending the emails out with the agenda and having us all organized Madam Toastmaster. Were guests welcomed upon arrival? Yes, our presiding officer recognized those, and I appreciate that, to our president, Scott Livingston. Were guests informed about the Toastmasters and the meeting format? I believe they were, and especially with us introducing ourselves and giving our roles. So for the meeting opening, was the presiding officer prepared and organized? Yes. Did the meeting start on time? Was everyone properly introduced? And was the Toastmaster properly introduced? Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Did the Toastmaster fill all roles prior to the meeting starting? Yes, there was a bit of a miscommunication regarding the speaker and one of the speakers, and I believe the timer role needed to be filled, but that was a last minute substitution and we handled that really well. So thank you, Madam Toastmaster, for thinking on your feet and getting that role filled. And did the Toastmaster introduce the general evaluator and the topics master and other roles? Yes. Then it goes into the general evaluator. So I'm evaluating myself. Did the general evaluator properly introduce the grammarian? There are a few things on this list that I was to be prompted to look at. And our meeting format, we did things a little differently. So the general evaluator did not introduce the grammarian. The Toastmaster did, though. So the word of the day was also not introduced by the grammarian, but rather by the topics master. So we did cover that. And then I would like to say bravo to Spencer. The word of the day was definitely challenging, appropriate, and was used by many of our speakers today. So that was really nice. The one thing I would suggest is that we give the word of the day at the beginning of the meeting. I may have missed it, but I didn't hear it in Alicia's speech, and that may have been why, because I didn't hear it until the topic master addressed the table topics. The general evaluator did not introduce the timer. Again, it was the Toastmaster, and the same, the general evaluator did not introduce the odd counter, but our Toastmaster did. And the general evaluator's report has been given, so yay for that. The purpose and timing of the table topics was properly explained. However, when we got to the timing portion, and Sonia, I know you stepped in to fill this role last minute, but generally it would be helpful if our guest and our members were notified that the minimum qualification, all I heard was the maximum that the speech could be at 2 minutes. So knowing when the green light would go off, the yellow light, and then the red would be helpful. Also, in giving my table topics, it was difficult for me to know when to end. I didn't see any type of signal or know how far into it I was. And that, as a speaker, kind of tripped me up personally. Not knowing where I was in that phase. So that would be something that I would like to see in future meetings. And I think it would help us as speakers. And then did the Toastmaster call on people who did not have a meeting role during table topics? Our topic master did just that. Now, one of the things that I loved is that Scott stepped in and asked for members to be called on. And I think that was a good call for a member to be called on first. And guests were invited to participate in this meeting. So that is outstanding. I love seeing that. Did the topic master track the time and ensure the meeting stayed on schedule? Great job, Spencer. You absolutely did just that. And the control of the meeting was properly returned to our Toastmaster or Madam Toastmaster today. So thank you so much, everyone. That concludes the general evaluation portion of the meeting. You did a great job. What?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I would like to just point out the part about the grammarian and the odd counter introduction. The third part, the evaluation part of our meetings, the general evaluator calls upon the functionaries, which are the grammarian and the odd counter, to give their report. The general evaluator then requests timer reports for the evaluators and encourages the audience to vote for best evaluator but we didn't do that today because there was just one. That is when, after the grammarian and the all counter give their report, then you give your evaluation of the meeting as a whole. So could you please ask for the grammarian and the all counter report now?
Absolutely. Could I, okay. Madam Grammarian, could we have your report, please?
Absolutely. I didn't listen any problem with grammatics, and the word of the day was used by several members, especially by Kelly, Elizabeth, Spencer. Could be other members that and guests that use the word, but anyway, I could certify these 3 persons for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. And could we get a report from our all counter today?
Oh, yes. Before I give my report, I would like to make one note of correction that the grammarian Alicia did announce the word of the day at the beginning, and she did provide a definition and example of usage. Here is the counter report. Scott used the word so once. Elizabeth, 1 3 ums, 1 but, and 1 repeat. Alicia, more than 5 ums, 3 1 so, 1 but, 3 repeats. Spencer, 1 and. Kelly, 3 ahs, 1 3 so, 1 but. Sonia, was said 3 times. 7, so 6. You had 1 repeat. Alex, I heard once, heard 2 times. You said well once, and you had 1 repeat. Jason Dick said 2 times, once. I heard so 3 times. And Jason Dick, you had 3 repeats. Jason Sujecki, you said 1 time. You said so 1 time, but twice, and there were 3 repeats. Robert Kishnick, 1 1 so. I would also further like to note that we should all be careful of the use of the word and. Multiple people use the word and more than 5 times. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take it back then. Thank you very much for the E part of our meeting, the general evaluator. I'm now going to do closing comments. And if anyone would like to see how our format goes, you can follow our agenda. And we've done very well on following our time. I want to congratulate everyone on that. You'll see the time that you start and end, and then the role of that person. And right now there's 9:25 to 9:27. We are right on time. Thank you everyone for that. I'm going to turn this over to our ballot counter to announce the winner. The evaluator and the speaker automatically win. I know that because we just had one, but Scott will go ahead and let us know the winner of Table Topics. Scott?
Yes. So I'm sharing the results of the poll. I'm not sure what it's going to look like. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
It says attendees are now viewing the poll results. I don't know what it looks like on your end. Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Scott, for winning Best Table Topic Speaker.
Congratulations.
Woohoo!
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster. You're on mute.
Closing comments would be to please look at our agenda, and that way you can see the format, what needs to go first, second, and third of each of the P, I, and E of our format. Love seeing our 3 guests, and hopefully we have a few minutes to ask them what they thought of the meeting. Jason, I know we've had you here before. What did you think of our meeting today?
This was a really great meeting. I was anticipating being called on sooner in the table topics, and I was anxious to answer any of the questions. Though when it came to my turn, I wasn't quite so prepared, didn't have as time to bring my thoughts together, but this was a great meeting.
Thank you, Jason. We look forward to having you back again. And if you're open to joining another club, we are always welcoming new members. Jason Suchecki, how did you like the meeting?
I really liked it. I think I can get a lot out of it. I just said, which I'm catching myself. I was anxious just coming on as a guest. So I think doing this could really help, overcome some of that. So I look forward to joining and being more involved in doing this more often.
Excellent. We look forward to having you back. When you're ready to join, let us know. It'll take 3 minutes. We would love to have you as a member. Robert, is it Kishnik?
Quiche.
Thank you. How did you like our meeting today?
I really liked it. I mean, it's I've learned a lot. I've really learned a lot in this meeting, and I thought that y'all did really good at it, and I'm looking forward to doing it again next week.
Excellent. We welcome you back, and when you're ready to turn in your membership form, let us know. It'll take a few minutes. We would love to have you as a member. I would now like to turn this meeting over to our president, Scott Livingston.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. My goal is to finish in about 2 minutes, which means we will finish 1 minute early. So to our guests, I will send you some prospective member information. Our VPM's not here today, but we certainly want to make sure that you have the tools that you need in order to join our club if and when you choose to do so. This club provides a lot of opportunities. And just like Madam Toastmaster talked about, we have an agenda and so forth. And I know that our VPE, who is Alicia, and our Toastmaster each week, they work to make sure that all our roles are filled. I know that the VPE assigns those roles, and she does it several weeks in advance. So please take a look at the agendas when she emails them out. And the sooner that we know who's going to be able to come and not come and which roles are filled and so forth, it just makes it easier for the VPE and the Toastmaster. Having said that, there are always opportunities for people to sign up the last minute. And if you bring your speech to the day of the meeting, as you guys may have noticed, is that sometimes we don't have speakers that are ready, or they've got meetings that come up. Life just happens. So if you show up at the meeting, and if we've got an open role for a speaker, and if you're ready to speak, you could jump right on in. So our club provides a lot of opportunities. Moving forward, it looks like that 72 hours in advance, if we don't have confirmation on roles, that we're going to open them up to the members just so we can try to accelerate the speed at which the roles are filled. One more comment. The reason that I'm in Toastmasters is to become a better leader, a better speaker, a better communicator. I appreciate the comments that I received from some of you regarding my impromptu speech. I know one of the comments that I received was, hey, don't be so critical. Consider what those people might be thinking as to why they're selfish and so forth. And I thought, wow, that's really insightful. That's a great idea. And that's the reason I'm in Toastmasters, is to become better and to understand other perspectives that sometimes I don't think about. And maybe I'm certainly not thinking about it when I'm speaking on the fly. When we're in Toastmasters, we practice, we share with one another, we get better, and that's why we're here. So with that, our next meeting is going to be in 2 weeks, which will be on February the 5th. Glad each of you are here, and we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.